My name is Gosia. I'm a recovered addict. Um, I have recovered from hopeless state of body and mind. Um, I don't know why, but I always say a little prayer before my share. It's kind of my, thing. So I would like to say this prayer for those who have relapsed. O God of all mercies and comfort, who helps us in time of need, we humbly ask you to behold, visit, and relieve those who have relapsed, for whom our prayers are desired. Look upon them with the eyes of your mercy, comfort them with a sense of your goodness, preserve them from the temptations of their addiction, and give them patience under their affliction. In your time, restore them to the program and physical, mental, and spiritual health, and help them, we pray, to listen, believe, and do your will. So like I said, I have recovered from a hopeless state of body and mind. Why did I even come to Cocaine Anonymous? This is the question. I always ask myself, did I come because I couldn't stop using? Or did I come because, I tried to stop so many times. And every time I swore off that I would never kind of touch drugs and alcohol again, but I failed and failed and failed. So yeah, I started off as a moderate user, drinker. I did not become continuous one. In my using or drinking time, I had substantial periods of clean and sober time. However, probably around 12 years ago, I have lost control of drugs and all of control of drugs and alcohol consumption. Once I started, I could not stop. When I stopped, I couldn't stop. It was just, a cycle. I always say, what makes me an addict? I've never kind of lost all my material possessions. I've never lost my home, my kids. I've never lost driving license. I've never been to rehab or treatment center. I've never sold my body for drugs. Does it mean I'm not an addict? I've never used cracked cocaine or heroin. So does it mean I'm not an addict? My using and drinking, I think personally stripped me of, more than material possessions. It stripped me of, dignity, self-respect. It just kind of emptied everything. I think I died so many times, and I was just dying a slow death. Over the years, I kind of felt like I was locked in a prison for years and years and years, desperately trying to find a way out. But I couldn't till I come to Cocaine Anonymous. So, when I came, I didn't really understand what the problem was. I knew there was something wrong with me, but I didn't understand what it was. And, the book describes it perfectly. It says, the main problem, my main problem, centers in my mind rather than my body. If you ask me why I started off on the last bender, the chances are that I will offer you hundreds of alibis, loads. I always got an alibi. Sometimes these excuses have a certain plausibility, but none of them really make sense in the light of the havoc my drinking or using but creates. They sound like a philosophy of a woman who, having a headache, beats herself on the head with a hammer so that she can't feel the ache. If you come and draw this fallacious reasoning to my attention, I will laugh it off or become irritated and refuse to talk. Over the years, I tried different things to stop or to stay stopped. At certain point, it stopped being fun. I really genuinely didn't want to use cocaine and alcohol and pills, because that's what, I chose. That's what I used to do. And I tried different ways. I employed different strategies. The biggest one was moving here to UK from Poland. So, I thought that, if I move countries and have a new fresh start, I'll be all right. Then second biggest kind of strategy was getting married and having kids. Because, I thought if I have kids and this beautiful family, surely that will stop me. And it did, don't get me wrong, it did. When I was pregnant, I did stop for 9 months. I was under the illusion, I had it. And, when I delivered both of my boys, I had no reason to go back to drinking or using, I had beautiful, healthy babies. Okay, husband. That's a different story. Okay, husband, yeah. But yet I picked up again after 9 months of sobriety and clean time. And the thing is, I pick up drugs or alcohol, and it doesn't matter, okay, whether I'm sad or I'm happy. I wish to emphasize that, it doesn't matter whether I'm sad or happy, okay? I will just pick up. So what happened when I delivered my boys? That thought came to my mind that maybe if I kind of ordered drugs from different dealer, it won't be as strong and it won't hurt me. It's plain insanity if you ask me. What kind of thinking, what kind of thinking I'm presenting there, what happens in that moment before I ring my dealer to order stuff, and I'm thinking it's not gonna hurt me. My sound reasoning around this is out of the window. My willpower is out of the window. The memory of the consequences is out of the window. And I knew the consequences would be bad because, over the years, my illness progressed and the consequences were getting more serious. And don't get me wrong, I never kind of suffered physical consequences, but it really did affect my mental health. Not to mention how many times I drove my kids to school under the influence, absolutely high. And over the years, it also made me very, very suicidal. No, it made me suicidal because I couldn't crack it. Why am I doing it? I'm swearing off. I'm not doing it again because I feel crap. Really don't want to do it. Yet I'm doing it again. So I feel like, I can't crack it. In all other areas of my life, I'm motivated, okay? I consider myself quite intelligent person. I finished university. If I want to achieve something, I normally achieve my goals, okay? But when it comes to drugs and alcohol, I'm strangely insane. Again, I pick up, end up suicidal. I'm at CA at that point, so what I do, I go to more meetings, I do more gratitude lists, I ring more people, and for some time, it's working, and I feel like I'm all right. I'm okay. But the day arrives when I forget all of it. Again, sound reasoning out, willpower out, memory out. And you read this bit from the big book on page 24. The fact is that most alcoholics or drug addicts, for reasons yet obscure, but we don't know those reasons, do we, have lost their power of choice in drink. Our so-called willpower becomes practically non-existent. We are unable at certain times, because at some times I may raise a defense, okay? At some times I may, have 5 chocolate bars and put myself, in a food coma and fight it, and I won't use, That at certain times, we are unable at certain times to bring into our consciousness with sufficient force, it's not enough, the memory of the suffering and humiliation of even a week or a month ago. We are without defense against the first drink. Mental blank spot, peculiar mental twist. That is my problem, okay? I don't suffer from alcohol problem, drug problem, pill problem. I suffer from relapse problem. I just can't stop. That is my problem, relapse. So yeah, I want to read something from the big book as well. So yeah, lack of power is my dilemma. You know, in that moment, before I pick up, I basically have no say before I pick up and no say after. That is powerless, okay? People in the, you know, in those rooms say, I'm powerless. I'm powerless because once I start, I can't stop. That's not powerless. You're powerless because you've got no choice. You've got no say before you pick up and no say after. That is powerless for me. You know, in that moment, just before I pick up, my reality, what's going in my head, is completely distorted, okay? You know, so I pick up again, and why? You know, there's never any fight, okay? I'm always baffled. Why did I do it? You know, I can't remember the consequences. It catches me off guard. Whether I'm happy, whether I'm sad, whether I'm depressed, it doesn't matter. So yeah, basically my human will and all my human resources, they fail me again and again, day after day, week after week, year after year. You know I'm an addict. I'm in CA. Yeah, I've got the knowledge. No, that's not gonna help me. Self-knowledge doesn't gonna help me, okay? So in that book, they mentioned Fred. I'm Fred, yeah, I had self-knowledge, I relapsed. I'm also Jim, because I'm already working some kind of program in CA, but I stop, okay? I stop seeking more spiritual experience, bang, relapse. I'm also a jaywalker, because every time I bloody use, I know I'm going to end up suicidal, okay? But I do it. I'm gonna die. Yeah, the thing is, the people don't get the seriousness of this illness. We suffer from illness that leads to death, okay? To death. Do you understand what your predicament is? You're gonna die. I nearly died, okay? But I'm lucky enough that someone kind of sat down with me and read that book, you know, and made me kind of have hope and said to me there is a solution, you know, there is a spiritual experience that can conquer your problem. And I think at my last relapse, around 15 months ago, I was ready to slit my wrists in my bedroom on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm done, okay? Because I can't bloody fight this thing anymore. I've fought for 12 years. Yeah, I'm depressed, I'm suicidal, I'm anxious, I'm just beaten. And I made that phone call to the person in fellowship, and I had a chat. And I think the only reason why I didn't commit suicide on that morning is because I'm a mom of 2 boys and I didn't want to leave them alone. So on that morning, what happened, and this is God honest true, is basically at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday in my bedroom, I humbly offered myself to God, okay, as I then understood him to do with me as he would. I placed myself unreservedly under his care and direction. I then admitted for the first time that of myself I was nothing, that without him I was lost. I have not relapsed since. I went through the steps, and I did do everything suggested. I just followed clear-cut directions, and something shifted. You know, I'm not saying, I don't know whether I had a spiritual experience or not. I don't know, but all I know is, you know, something changed in me, okay? I started seeing things differently. Yeah, I think I died in that bedroom on that morning. I died, and I think, while going through the steps, I was gradually kind of reborn, I suppose. Today I know that there is, nothing that I can do to prevent relapse. Today, I know that higher power people talk about in those rooms, that is my solution. And maybe that will sound a bit harsh, but all of it, Cocaine Anonymous, those rooms, sponsor people, they all the steps, they all beautiful, beautiful tools for you to find that power that will sort your problem. That power, I've got the most important relationship with today. That comes before anything. Over months, I built that relationship. I honestly believe that power, I call it God, okay, but it's not the God, religious God sitting on a white cloud. It's just easier for me to say God. I do believe that power has been with me all my life, because how am I alive today? How am I sitting here? How come I didn't overdose? The amounts I've put through my systems, we're talking grams, bottles, pills. I should not be alive today. I really shouldn't. And when you think about it, you surely must have those moments when you think, there's something working in my life, okay? That's not coincidence that I'm here today. Yeah? So that power is there, I believe, always been. The steps are there to unblock you from that power. I stopped relapsing. People say, I heard people saying, do you know this Eastern European chick from Nottingham? Okay, she works a really strong program. I don't work a strong program. What happened to me is the program works me, steps works me, it just happens naturally. I don't really have to put much effort into it. What is more, okay, what happened to me is I started thinking about others. And I'm here not because of my recovery, I'm here because of your recovery. And that is God on a shoe. I feel like I've been put in a position where I can help others. And I don't work with others. And some people say, what do you mean you don't work with others? I don't work with others, I help others, okay? I guide them through the steps. I don't work with others. And I help people, those addicts, okay, those ladies who come, through the door relapsing. I help them because I genuinely care. I'm here. I feel like, I can save people's lives. Someone reached out to me and took me through those steps and kind of saved mine. So yeah, I'm always gonna be there for that lady, who comes through the door, and she can go out and she can come back how many times she wants. I always be there for her, always. And I will really try my best to help her because, I do care. So when I see that lady, when she comes through the door, I will tell her how baffled I was, how I finally learned that I was sick. I will give her an account of the struggles I made to stop. I will show her the mental twist which leads to the first drink of a spree. If she's an alcoholic or an addict like me, she will understand me at once. She will match her mental inconsistencies with some of mine. And I think I'm just going to wrap it up now and just finish with this beautiful reading from this book. Get yourself this book. And if there's any ladies here, who want to chat after the meeting, I'm here, okay, and I'm open, and we can chat about this stuff. I've got time. Okay, showing others who suffer how you are given help is the very thing which makes life seem so worthwhile to us now. Cling to the thought that in God's hands the dark past is the greatest possession you have, the key to life and happiness for others. With it, you can avert death and misery for them. Okay, thank you.